First off, I want to thank y'all for attending these lectures and supporting the channel. One day this is going to be great, and this is for those who support me. You know who you are. But to that point, this video is all about patience. This is something that I've covered before, but patience is a habit of greatness. If you want to be great at life, it's going to take time. Just like you're not going to be able to plant a seed and have a tree the next day, you're not going to be able to be in your prime and reach your full level of potential within a couple months or maybe even a couple years. It's going to take time. And if you realize this at a young age or even at an older age, you're going to be much ahead of the competition because we live in an instant gratification society, a microwave society where if people don't get the result that they're looking for within 2 to 3 months, they're going to quit. Some 2 to 3 weeks, some 2 to 3 days. But this is making it even easier for those who really have faith and belief that they're one day going to achieve everything that they set out to achieve. That all the goals they set out to accomplish when they were a little boy or a little girl, they are going to accomplish eventually. And if you develop this mindset, you're going to be unstoppable. Patience is a virtue. Patience is a habit of highly successful people. And you have to continue in your pursuit and work on your craft each and every day, knowing that each day you're working towards that goal. It is preparing you little by little, piece by piece. But we cannot get patience confused with passiveness. Passiveness is a distant cousin. It's the exact opposite of what patience is. Because people that are passive, they'll be okay with the state they're in right now. And when the time arises, because they're okay and content with what they have now, they will not strike gold. And they will not get everything that they desire out of life. They'll pass up on their opportunities. And eventually, somebody else who may not have been as good as them at what they do will claim the rewards for what they wanted because the other person was more determined. He wasn't passive. Passiveness is the opposite of patience, and it's going to lead to weakness. But everything in life happens according to the Most High's time. We're not on our own time. We're on God's time. And when you know this, you're going to understand that just because you want something does not mean you're going to get it immediately. I always use the analogy of the microwave and the crock pot because social media has basically programmed a lot of people into thinking that success is something that is fast and overnight, and that couldn't be further from the truth. In life, when we're on the pursuit of our goals, it's more similar to cooking something in a crock pot than a microwave. Cooking stuff in a crock pot, you're not going to have your food within the next 30 seconds to a minute. You're going to have to sit there for some hours and wait for everything to simmer, everything to cook. All the flavor and ingredients need to be able to marinate and absorb into the food. And this is what's going to have the food tasting a lot better than it would in a microwave. So everything is going to happen on the Most High's time. And we have to realize that. We have to realize that right now we might not be ready for what it is that we truly want out of life. We might not be ready for that. And it's better to want something and be ready than to want something and not be ready. Mastery is something that we should all be striving for, but mastery is something that only a small percentage of people will obtain because a small percentage of people will be willing to work day in, day out on something that they know they were crafted for. Every day, you should train your mind, body, and soul for what it is that you were sent here in this life to do. Whatever it is that you have the ability or the talent to do, you should refine that skill each and every day and not look back. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what other people have. Focus on your race. Focus on your lane. In the sport of track, if there's a sprinter and he's so concerned about what's to the left and what's to the right of him as he's running his race, there's no way he's going to be able to make it. There's no way he can finish first. There's no way he can be a winner. because he's focused on everyone else's race. And this is something that is going to lead to failure, disappointment, depression, discouragement. So focus on your lane. And one quote that I always love to hark on is that haste can be folly, but delay is never wise. And that puts a little bit of emphasis on the fact that you shouldn't be passive. I'm not telling people to not take the shot when the time is ready. Wait till it's ready, then take the shot. Oftentimes, delay is more dangerous than haste, because if you delay for too long, somebody else is going to reap the benefit of your work. You can be working towards something, or you can be gifted at something, maybe having a business idea, but if you don't work towards that every day, it's going to get to the point where you'll be outshined by somebody who might not have been as smart as you, might not have been as strategic or talented as you, but because they were ready to act when the time was right, they're going to get the reward that you've been seeking. So in life, the best thing about life is we have choices. Choices are the single determinant of where we are today. Whether we're listening to this video in a beat up Honda or the Rolls Royce Cullinan, it's all determined on the choices that we have made. We have the power to change our life. We have so much power that is untapped. And if we just make the right choices, it's inevitable that we'll see success. And success is subjective. Success to me is going to look a lot different than success to you. But success for all is being happy, accomplishing goals, and knowing that you are doing what you were sent on this earth to do. So make the right choice. The choice is yours.